Thames. Nice to have you.
But I'm going to keep at it and see where the problem lies. You know, it's like
we've all been lied to for over 2,000 years. I think it's pretty obvious.
It's all lies.
Yeah, it's all lies. I mean, the shape of the Earth that's a secret worth keeping. I mean, people are making bazillions of dollars off of it, right?
Oh, bazillions, trillions.
It's a miscalculation, is what it is. It's not. It's just
you're probably making a miscalculation. That's true, Dave. That's the first thing you said, right?
They just made a simple mistake.
Yes, it was very simple. It's like finding the keys on the coffee table. Okay, it's going to be fine.
They just assumed that there was a hump of Earth curvature in the way when they saw the ground ramping up like it does down a flat hallway. It's an honest mistake.
Honest mistake. What? How honest is it though when they start going into space and giving us pictures though?
Yeah.
Well, they found the dome, and you know.
There's no dome. How about picture of the dome, Lemon Bird? A sample of the dome, something, huh? Someone who's gone there and touched it.
Pelicans, meteorites, all can be reinterpreted toward a dome.
No, incorrect. You have no proof of the dome.
If meteorites. Oh, what's up?
The meteorites is a very weird thing about your crystalline glass dome there, Lemon, because
it
would be a nickel, iron, cobalt glass.
That's okay. How come they fall at that speed that they fall?
Mega cryometeors, elves, sprites, like electrical activity that appears to go up and hit a barrier.
What?
So you're going to get away from these meteorites, which you said are coming off the dome, but that gives us the material of the dome. It also means that they have to be rocket propelled off of the dome. And in addition to that, knowing what it's made out of, we can put together the idea or do the calculations on what that structure should be able to hold, which is not even going to be its own weight. So it should just collapse on us. And God help us if there's actually water on the other side, because that would collapse it even further.
Well, an arch is a very structurally stable, structure. So perhaps it's made in an arch formation.
It's not impervious to the forces pressing on it, though, Lemon. Arches collapse. That happens.
That's why bubbles can last, underwater under great pressure. The arch curviness of the curved bubble.
No, bubbles are crushed under pressure. What are you talking about?
They're crushed until the internal pressure is great enough to support them. Is the internal pressure of Earth at like 10 billion bar?
It depends on how much water's on top of it.
Actually, it would be about 3,000 miles if with any kind of conservative size, because it fills up towards the sides. So it's going to be at least 3,000 miles deep at the edges.
But the arch would take a lot of the stress and just spread it out over its curved structure. God is quite the engineer. I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Oh, here we go. Using God again. We can't. The God of the gaps. We can't explain it. Therefore, it must be God.
The science of the gaps is even worse because
Actually, no. The science is no science of the gaps. We know we can explain what we can explain.
To define the constraints and assume uniformitarianism with their inferior amounts of knowledge. So the science of the gaps is even worse.
What is the science of the gaps?
I really appreciate that people still use that term "science of the gap," though. I can't science of the gap. Yeah, I think I was one of the first people to popularize that like 9 years ago.
Yeah, well then you're just making shit up then, because it's really a stupid saying.
No, I mean it is. That was the whole point of it. I was.
Okay, I'm sorry. Then you missed. I missed out. I missed the joke.
No, I mean, it was, I was having a conversation with the art creationist, and he just seemed to think that I was filling in everything with science. I was like, yep, call it science of the gaps. Who the fuck cares? And it's kind of stuck around ever since.
Well, then I apologize. I was lagging.
The main thing is holding out faith that science will explain everything is just as faith-based as the God of the gaps. And
It's
just
really not, though.
How can man science of the gaps everything when there are wavelengths of light that man can't
Look,
see in
Lemon.
the invisible spectrum, where there are
Lemon, you don't-
There
levels
are
of
elements
interaction that are not available for testing by humanity?
How do you know what we don't know?
The other
Revelation
How do you know?
fill in
How do you
those
know what we
gaps.
don't know, Lemon? Lemon, how do you know what we don't know?
How do you know that we know?
How do you know that
It's
you
the
don't
same
know?
thing.
I mean, how do we know what we know?
If we knew everything, then there would be no revelation,
saying we
and
know
there would be no
everything.
point to
We
science.
know what we know.
It's a faith-based proposition to say that science will reveal and adequately explain everything too.
No one says that
Especially when
about science.
relying
Only
on
idiots say
man's
that about
limited
science.
knowledge and limited perspective and limited scope of power.
Yeah, so
Lemon,
that scares you?
What frequency can't we see, Lemon? We can
I
see
think the visual spectrum of light is like what? Red to violet? That's what, 400 to 700 nanometers that we can see with our eyes, something like that. The rest needs to be
okay, with our eyes. Oh, can we see them anyway? Can we? Do we have
special
methods of
equipment.
seeing? Yeah. So what difference does it make whether I could see it with my eyes or with tools?
It's showing the limitation of man and the need for revelation from a superior source that can see further, like, a god, or for the atheist, Satan,
yeah, we go with
a
that
fallen
again.
angel, or a new age guru, like some sort of demon from hell instead of God.
I see. I thought we were talking about science, and then immediately you start talking about some fairy tale invisible sky god, sky friend.
We're talking about the revelation that you'll accept. The revelation from the person who built the thing, God.
That you say
pretty
built the thing. You have proof of that? Proof of that, please? Some evidence of that?
Yeah, built what thing?
Yeah, some evidence of this God guy.
About the dome, weren't we? Weren't we talking
about? I want some evidence of the dome. Well, you gotta give me some evidence of God. No.
There's lots of evidence that can be retroductively deduced or inferred to be a dome. The sun dogs, which you refuse to acknowledge as evidence of a dome.
Sun dogs are ice. Sun dogs are ice. We know that.
Solid surface. The meteorites are falling from somewhere.
Meteorites made out of iron and nickel. They're not very clear. It's tough to see through them.
And we have elves and sprites. We have the Schumann resonance, which makes the Earth appear to be a vibrating hollow cavity with a resting vibration.
You have no idea what elves and sprites are. They're thunderstorms.
The question is your willingness to interpret it one way or another.
No, it's your trying to make shit up that we understand. What was the last one? The resonance?
Never make shit up.
No, he's making everything up. My God.
No.
What was the last thing about the resonance thing?
Lemonbird, are you saying that the Earth is a box?
What was this resonance he was talking about?
Could be a box. Who knows?
It could be a box, right, Jeremy? It could be.
He's given a hollow Earth theory for the flat Earth.
It could be hollow.
No, it's not, though. We know that.
It could be. You could have a flat hollow Earth.
It could be. It's like we're on the cutting edge of science. We don't know anything.
And we know about science. We know about we know about the structure of the Earth.
They've only tunneled what, 8 miles into the Earth? Is that right?
Wow.
So then how is it that if we've only gone 8 miles, how is it a hollow Earth?
If we can only dig 8 miles, how is it hollow? That sentence is incoherent.
Much the same way you're having a baby boy, we use an ultrasound.
9 miles down, there could be a hollow portion.
Could be, it's not what it is.
I said it could be. I didn't say it is, did I? I said it could be.
It could not be. Sorry. None of our observations of the Earth fit in with something being hollow in the middle. Sorry.
S&P waves all show hollow Earth.
S&P waves do not show hollow Earth.
Damn it, Jeremy.
Well, they propagate in air, Jeremy.
Obviously, your knowledge of geology is as good as your knowledge of astronomy.
So what's inside this box that the Earth is supposed to be? I'm curious.
The rest of Jeremy's IQ.
I mean, it's Lemonbird's claim.
And Jeremy's box.
Oh yeah, he's riding the bird.
There's a metaphor there.
And then how is it closed off? Like, for real? Like, how do you make the box?
He just said that. He's just making the contention that we don't know what we live on. No one really knows.
Creator doing this, so I mean, this is way beyond your puny human brain.
Oh, you don't have a human brain now? Jesus Christ.
Oh no, he has a brain. Stop there.
I have a brain to analyze the facts and evidence in front of me. You don't.
Chemo, why don't you say something really stupid today for me?
Yeah, we were just waiting for some chemotherapy, man. Thank you.
That's actually the smartest thing you've said. No, it wouldn't be silly. It would be true.
How far is next?
Yeah, how far is next to? Like 14 miles, 20 miles, 50 miles, maybe 60 miles? 100 miles?
I'm really more interested in gas pressure hooked to an air conditioner because it's fixing to get hot around here. I need an air conditioner that run off a 12-volt battery for 24 hours at 72 degrees, and like what would be a good CFM for a box fan? Anybody know the answer?
Dave, why don't you
the answer is it's not going to work. You don't have enough current. Sorry.
Dave, why don't you just dig a hole? You could put a little fan in it. I mean, you need a pretty big hole, but you could put a fan in it and do that geothermal thing they do.
Yeah, that was a pretty interesting tip. But go ahead, Chemo was going to tell us something.
What up, Chemo? Keep us on track.
Well, do you ever talk about the flat Earth? I'm just curious.
Hey, Chemo.
That's the only. That's the only thing I'll give you, Chemo. If you climb out from under your rock, and you look and go, Earth flat. Other than that, you have no argument. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We have pictures of it. Himawari takes a picture every 10 minutes.
Hold on.
They're talking about ice domes, moron. That's like Half Dome. It's like Half Dome in Yosemite. Same thing. It's a structure.
It's a hump. Well, actually, you didn't really give a valid
argument. You can see more of the Earth at once if you climb a hill or a tower. Why is that?
Okay. Let him.
We can.
Let's talk about flat Earth. Flat Earth. Maybe. Wait.
Well, it's not an infinite.
Wait. Chemo, how do you know it's an infinite plane? Okay. So that's a reification fallacy. You're saying that the theory, the idea, is the reality.
Actually, we do know.
Hold up. Hey, Flames. Hold on, Chemo. You just committed the reification fallacy. Your hypothesis, your theory, and then you're saying, well, in reality, this is why we can't see this. So it doesn't work that way. Says who? Says who? Have you?
All right, if I am riding,
Nope, keep
if I am riding with a hound dog, does that make me a hound dog?
What does one have to do with the other? No, you keep saying we can't get high enough. High enough to what? Why wouldn't you?
You should always see
Why-
it. You never can see far enough.
Why
That's the
wouldn't you?
problem.
What's stopping humans? Like, what's stopping being able to go up? I don't know, high altitude balloon. Sure, why not? We'll go there. Gotcha. That doesn't make any
I know
sense.
the answer is vertical restriction.
That has nothing to do with it at all. So it's supposed to be.
You know how when you go up, the higher you go, the more energy it takes. Correct?
We're not discussing. Why are you all doing? Hello.
Exactly. Like a fish
Why
jumping
is
out of the water. You got a fish, and it don't matter how deep he goes into the ocean, it swims up to the top of the water. He can only fly so high.
So fish never jump out of the water, right?
You're
so
not
fish can't. It's
changing-
impossible for a fish to jump out of the water. I got it.
No.
Oh, but you just said they
No.
couldn't jump out. Now they can jump out some, so they can go some a little bit above the water. Yes, we can. Well, the medium. Actually, you do leave the medium, but that's another issue.
Oh, no one can stay on the flat Earth for 5 seconds. Chemo. Raising your elevation doesn't change how far you can see. No, your visual range doesn't. Your ability to see light doesn't increase the higher you go. It's a fixed. No, you can't. It's a fixed orb around you. You can't see any further the higher you get. Right? You can only see so far. Wait, are you saying light travels forever? You got to pick one or the other, dude. Either light doesn't travel forever or it does. And if it does, then you can see further away from your circle of sight. If light, that's impossible. Again, how far? I'm sorry. So the Rayleigh criteria doesn't apply in this case? I don't care. No, that's fine. That's the Rayleigh criteria, right? How? Light doesn't travel forever, and your ability to resolve light doesn't go forever. So which is it? Dude.
No.
That's a claim. That's a ball Earth claim. I'm sorry. Get off the balls for 5 seconds. Okay. So you agree? No, I'm sorry. You're saying that this is saying no, it isn't. That's the furthest you can see because light doesn't travel further.
I know the answer. I know the answer. Because of thin water gas, the sun is not as bright, so you can't see as far. So it starts working in reverse the higher you go up in the air.
What happens if you have thick water gas?
It's only thick on the ground.
How thick is it though? Like, is it really thick?
Well, that's what your mama said last time.
It's got a lot
mother's
of
dead.
girth. It's got a lot of girth. We'll put it that way.
All right, so chemo. If you
Sorry, man. I didn't really make. I know how some people don't like it when you talk about their mama. So,
hey, when I was a little kid, I would have ripped you a new one, but you get older, get older.
I knew this kid when I was in high school, and he was built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like naturally, just looked like the Incredible Hulk. And I used to mess with him, and a big Italian guy, used to chase me around. He couldn't catch me though, so he
Was
didn't
his
like
last
it when
name
somebody.
Rigno?
He didn't like it when somebody talked about his mama, but it was more funny than being mean about it.
I bet he catch your fat ass now.
No, he couldn't catch me. I was a little fast kid, so he couldn't catch me. Anyway.
No, you couldn't actually do that. I don't know how many times I have to describe this to you. Unless you're going to tell me that light travels forever, you can't see further the higher up you go.
It's your angle change. Yeah, of course you see farther the higher up you go.
How? No.
Are you fucking high or something?
How does that change if you have a certain radius that you can visually discern around you, and light doesn't travel forever on the flat Earth? Is this correct or not?
Light doesn't travel forever in any model.
I didn't say anything about models.
You said
I don't live in a model, and neither do you.
Light can travel forever on the globe.
I don't care about it. I don't care about balls, Jeremy. I'm talking about the flat Earth. Every claim I've ever heard from the flat Earth.
Hey, Jeremy, we're talking about flat though.
Oh, all right. So what about it?
Light doesn't travel forever. You have a specific radius around you that you can see. You can't see any further than that. Going up doesn't change that.
Yeah, you've now made an angle change to the floor.
That doesn't mean
your
anything.
acute angle. Yeah, it does.
No, it's still.
You're also raising up out of the thick.
A 360
on the
dude.
base level
You would
of the
actually
ground.
see less. You would see less the higher up you go.
Silly.
What about light magnification? What about light magnification? If the closer to the surface the light is brighter than higher in the sky, what does that mean? The higher you go, the less bright light would be, right?
We're getting away from the ground at this point, but you have a.
It's like when you get in an airplane above the clouds, can you see further? You know how is the sun brighter above the clouds or below the clouds, you think?
Is it above or below? On a flat Earth? No idea.
Has there ever been any instrumentation done of the brightness of the sun at different altitudes?
Oh, I'm sure people have done that.
Yeah, I'm just wondering about the actual brightness. You know what I'm saying? Like you're on top of a mountaintop. Is it brighter on top of a mountaintop than if you were on the ground on the same day?
I don't know. I guess it would depend on the conditions from the top to the bottom, maybe. I mean, you can get on Mount Everest and look down and see clouds, and then you go to the bottom and you look up to see clouds. So I don't know.
You're exposed to more radiation when you go up higher. More frequencies are getting you, and I'm guessing just general light would probably be attenuated a little bit in the Rayleigh scattering.
What are you talking about? You can't go there.
Oh,
how do you get closer and closer? That's 3,000 miles above the Earth. You can't even get a balloon that high. Who's you?
This bearded devil, chemo. This bearded devil guy doesn't even know. Bearded, what shape is the Earth?
This isn't about the shape of the Earth.
Yeah, see, chemo.
We're talking about a flat Earth right now. Remember?
He doesn't even know what's going on, where he is.
Remember, we're talking about a flat Earth
shape. If you want to, but yeah, we're talking about the flat Earth. So, well, actually, I really haven't heard any evidence for the flat Earth.
Paul?
Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, real quick. Hold on, real quick. One point at a time. So, if the Earth is supposed to be a horizontal plane, right? Okay, and we can just use simple perspective here. Okay, really simple. Hold on. I don't need to. You haven't used measurements. You just you made that's not a, hold on. That's not a measurement. That's an observation. Hold on, dude. That's a an observation, not a measurement. No, dude. You're not measuring something. You're just because you're not looking at it you're not looking at it edge on. You're looking at it orthogonally and making claims from that. So from here, by the way, that's a horizontal line, which is that's only one dimension. Do you have anything other than a single dimension to play with? I didn't think so. So what you're saying is you're one dimensional at this point.
What the fuck? You're telling me you couldn't establish drop of just making a horizontal line?
I don't know.
He's a fucking weirdo. I call him Beardo Weirdo.
Yeah,
Well,
you can
every
call me whatever
measurement
you
we've
want.
made, every measurement we've made shows us drop at a distance. I don't know what you're talking about. It's never measured flat.
Hold on.
Yeah, funny story, but it's
Yeah,
never measured flat. You got any flat measurements?
just
Do you have any
hold
flat
on.
measurements?
You
You have
have a
any flat
video? You
measurements?
have a video?
Flat.
Okay, hold on. That's fine. We'll go with that. There's no drop, according to you. Now, for that to hold true, you can use simple perspective. Yes. You had to use perspective.
We know
Hold
that
up.
it's flat.
Keith, that's
We
not
know
a
that
ball
it's flat.
thing. Perspective is not a ball.
We know.
Hold on. Oh, you'd have to show me what that looks like. Without using Fresnel lens and some bullshit. Yeah, that doesn't work either. You should really visit my
that
YouTube.
works.
You should really visit my YouTube channel.
We
on
know
that
that it's flat. I think you should look into it.
one. Hold on. Now,
Yeah, it does work.
Hold on. I didn't ask for a model. I didn't ask for a model. I
The
said
water
we can
in the
test
cup
this.
works.
We can. Hold on.
Show us no drop. Show us a measurement of no drop over 10 miles. Oh, so you don't have the facts and numbers. Okay, so what else do we have? So what are the facts and numbers? Show us no drop over 10 miles.
We have a formula.
No, there's still drop. It's just less than you'd expect. There's still more. There's still drop.
For chemo, let me give him the.
Yeah, it doesn't drop.
It's still lower than it should be.
Show us the drop over 10 miles.
Hold on. We're talking about flat Earth. I don't know why you're accusing models. So no one lives on a model. You keep saying hour. Oh, you're talking about that weird thing in England, huh?
Really?
Whoa. Wait,
What else?
What was a drop? Was a drop from eye level?
Well, let me give him the formula for the drop calculation that we have.
No,
on
no,
Flat
no
Earth.
drop calculator.
Yeah, no,
We're talking about flat Earth.
This is the flat Earth formula, right?
Oh,
here.
okay.
You guys love fucking formulas and figures, so we got
I
0
don't.
inch. We got this is the amount of.
I
drop
like
there is.
observations.
All right, this is a calculation for the amount of drop, so you can calculate it. It's 0 inches per mile squared.
Oh, okay, good. Then we should see the shoreline of France. From England. So you should see the shoreline of France from England.
Wait, Chemo, what's causing this lensing? Oh, well, water. You're talking about clouds? Clouds make that happen? That's clouds.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Turbidity doesn't move things. It just obscures them, but it doesn't move them.
Yeah.
They don't go up or down in turbidity.
That's light attenuation. That's light attenuation, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't see through it. It just means it's illuminated.
Welcome to Flat
Now-
Earth.
Magnification, that's different.
The turbidity doesn't cause magnification because those are particles that would go up. What causes lensing? And your answer was water in the atmosphere and turbidity. Turbidity makes it opaque. Yeah, that's not going to magnify it. That's called clouds. If your claim is that, if you're saying that water gas, which is it? Either it's transparent water that doesn't do anything, or it's clouds.
We
You
know
gotta
that
pick
it's
one.
flat.
Crowds, haze.
That's not the same as a gas, now is it? If I put a pencil in a cup of air, does it do that?
Have you
That's
heard of
still
it?
just gas. That's still just air. It's also mixing with all of the other elements. Which one? Any of them? Where does where it comes from have anything to do with one or the other?
It exists. Doesn't matter.
Why
It exists.
does
Where's
that-
that set come from?
You say it's also from the ground.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
Hold up. It's not. So you're saying it's water droplets in the air? Take your pick, dude. Either it's gas or it's drop or liquid. That's fine. How tall is this inversion layer? Average. Give me an average.
Hold on. Is atmosphere always inverted?
So
Because it is
flat.
Almost always. So it's always higher pressure above. Right, but so it's always highest. So it's always the pressure is always highest above the low pressure.
Well, no, he's saying there's no pressure. So, hold up. No.
That's what an inversion is.
We'll agree with you for now. There's no pressure. There's just a density inversion, right?
Welcome
Yeah,
to
but
Flat Earth.
temperature affects the density of gases. You agree with this? So hot air balloons, you heat up air, it rises, right? Yeah. Well, hold on. I asked you how tall was this lens? No, you didn't. Because you got to give me an average, a baseline, something. How tall is it? Why not? No. You're avoiding answering the question, Chemo. Why are you avoiding? Are you hiding something? Because it sounds like you're gatekeeping at this point. So how is it? Hold up. How's it a fixed lens then?
Why does it
Lens.
always do the
How's it
same thing
fixed?
if it's always changing?
Lens.
So how high? So how high?
Wait, you're saying that it doesn't happen at your face? I can show you a mirage in a very, very short distance. I can show you a mirage. Yeah, I have it on my channel. You can go to my YouTube channel. You could even ask Moyak. It's on my channel. I've shown it during Jose's show and everything. All right, hold on.
Just a mirage. The thing above it. The thing above it. Doesn't matter. The mirage, if it's mirroring, you can see mirroring of whatever's above it.
Over the atmosphere.
Yes. Yeah, right, yes. So, Chemo, just while he's doing this, I was talking. You can tell I was talking by the fact the words are coming out of my mouth. So, Chemo, there was a statement about this inversion layer, and you kind of imply that it's down low, but it's up high. I'm not sure where it's happening, but you say it goes all the way up. But it doesn't seem to. Like, the higher density is never above. Higher density is rarely above the ground. That's an unusual condition where there's an inversion. That's the rare condition, not the norm. Right? Okay, so you always think the highest temperature is right. Well, okay, that's fine. That's fine. So you don't think that the higher an inversion of temperature would mean that the high temperature air is what? Is that below the? I forget. Let's think about that.
Chemo, I posted in the chat already.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, that arm's length.
Yeah, it's I don't know who's Chemo. You don't even know how far that is. How far do you think that across the way? Yeah, arm's length is not in front of my face. Please use your terms correctly. How do you? If I put my arm in front of me and my fingertips are across the way, right? It's not behind the plant pot. That's in front. It's in front of the plant pot. Why are you looking at? I'm just curious. You see that the Legos where the duplicate images in the green. The Legos are closer to me than the pots are, and the spot where the inversion is actually happening is much closer. The Lego itself, which part? Yeah, the mirage layer that's happening is it's about 1/8 of an inch off of the surface. Why are you looking at the orange part? You got pink, yellow, and green. Well, the yellow and the yellow and the pink and the top of the green aren't mirage, but you'll notice the green.
How many Legos are there?
There's only 3. Well, actually, there's more.
The same size?
There's more than 3 because of the stacking.
But the green one, they're all the same. All those colors are the same size, right?
Yes, the green, the pink, and the. I do know what it is. Hold on, dude. You didn't. I just showed you that this miraging can happen right there. Right there.
Oh, mirage? That's not arm's
length. Where the
length.
miraging is happening is about arm's length, yes.
How far away is it? How far away is it?
Would
Was
I
that
see
about
the
3
mirage?
feet? Was
Yes,
that about
I
3
would
feet?
see the
Yeah.
mirage. So, would you like to see it?
That's 3 feet, dumbass. Isn't that
Okay,
the
hold
minimum
on.
height, right?
He wants to see. He wants to see miraging closer. Okay.
He said arm's length, dumbass.
Oh, now wait. It's homemade manipulation, dude. I didn't do shit. How did I
Yeah, you did
manipulate
that
it?
in the house.
Hold on. You just accused me of manipulating it. How did I manipulate it? It's not homemade. I didn't make that. A temperature inversion. The sun. No, the sun. Because because one, you have a mirage, that's a dead giveaway. Two, the board, that railing, was hotter than the air. So you have a thermal radiation occurring approximately an eighth inch. Where are you saying curvature from? I don't get this. Temperature. Yeah, the outside temperature was, I think, on that particular day was around 23 degrees. Hold on. You accused me of or creating the effect. I didn't create the effect. I observed it.
Hey, found a mirage in your house, bro.
I was outside.
You got anything on that?
Wait, what'd you say?
Except it seems like also banisters do as well, rails.
I never gave it. No, there's no claim that it's a horizon. It's actually independent completely of a horizon. Obviously. What's obstructing what? It's not being obstructed. Mirages are not obstructions. The Legos are really there. That
The thing that makes the Lego big.
The point at which the mirage is actually occurring, the point at which the mirage, are you want me to move?
The green Lego, dumbass.
It's in between where the actual part is, the mirage where you can see that, it's actually closer to the observer than it is to the object.
Sorry.
The very bottom of the Lego is miraging, yes. Because, well, that's also everything else that you could see. And here's the thing. The miraging effect is, well, the temperature inversion is what's creating that double image that we call a mirage. Yes. You mean the silvery water stuff and the fact that the Lego looks like it's upside down at the bottom? That one? Your question seems very malformed. Close to the surface of the banister. Where are you? The bottom green Lego is double where that mirage layer is at. Yeah, there's not the entirety of all the Legos, just a very small portion of a very small object. The green. No, here you go again. What part of the? Where do you think the green? I did. The very bottom of the green. The layer is less than an eighth of an inch thick. Do you understand this?
Why are you playing
What are
Kemo's
you
game, man?
talking about? The mirage is still there. That thermal difference, the thermal differential is still there. It's a physical phenomenon. I understand, dude. You're trying to say that the light that's being reflected, right? That the object it did, and you're bugging out on it. Yeah, the silvery pool that the Lego looks to be sitting in isn't there. Or did you? The silvery pool that the Lego appears to be sitting in isn't there. It's not an actual silvery pool. It's just refracted light. Does the Lego look like it's been doubled? And then you see, well, that's not entirely true because over there at the bottom where the green gets doubled, and then you can see yellow and then pink. It does appear to be like that's sitting on a mirror, doesn't it? It's not a reflection. A reflection is what happens with a mirror, not the other way around. You need it's four dots on the top, 4 dots on the bottom. They're all four because it's a four Lego thing. It's 4x2 or whatever. I see four, so I don't know where you're going from there. So the entirety of everything is mirroring. Huh. You're still missing it, aren't you? No, reflection happens on reflective surfaces. Do you understand the difference?
Like a second sunspot.
I don't have a reflective surface.
Yeah, it's a reflective.
Reflective surfaces.
It's a piece of wood. What's reflective about it?
Yeah, it's a freaking piece of wood. How is it reflective?
You create a second sunspot.
So I don't understand why you're having such a difficulty with this one simple image that was. Is it a mirage or isn't it a mirage, Chemo? That's 4 dots. It's still 4 dots. And then you see that the yellow is mirrored as well. And you can even see some of the pink. Yeah, it's miraged. That's the whole point. Everything's there that's really there. Except for the fact that there is no reflective pool there. There's no actual mirror, even those things are being mirrored because that light is being.
Yeah, you can reflect everything.
That's what a mirage is. It's bending that light back to your eye, and it creates a mirroring effect. It's a mirroring effect, not a mirror. Those are two different things. Both. It's a mirroring effect caused by the mirage. The mirage is caused by the inversion. The inversion, which is caused by a temperature differential between the wood and the air.
Oh, the Legos are reflecting the sunlight.
Anything you see is technically reflecting light back to your eye. I'm referring to the mirroring effect, not a reflection. That's fine. There's a difference between reflecting and a mirror. A mirror reflects, not a reflects. Mirror. There's a distinction, isn't there?
Peter, why are you trying to get out of this, man? He's not going to change. He does not know anything.
Oh no,
What
no,
the
no!
Fuck, are you trying to get out of this?
I'm just showing that you can have a mirage up close and personal.
Yeah, but you know he's not going to budge, right?
Reflection of what? And what's reflecting?
Yeah.
What's causing the reflection?
The hot spot sun.
Yes, Kimo, what's causing the reflection? It's a pure question.
Oh, now it's who cares?
Hot spots are real.
You gave me the third degree answer. That's a mirage. So how is what I've shown different? Of what? What's causing the reflection? Oh, well, why not? That's a mirage. Unless you could show me what object is causing the reflection. What do you mean what's not really there? Yeah.
Yes, let me try. Kimo, the bottom dots are not really there. They're on the top. You see them at the bottom.
Yeah. They're refracted, all right, i.e. they're being miraged, right? It's being refracted. If it was reflected, you would see the bottom. Really? Wait. So when you go up to a mirror and you put your hand on it, you're saying that you're not going to be able to see where your hand touches the mirror? No, you just made a claim again. If it's just if the Earth's flat and I'm living on the Earth, then this is still about the flat Earth. So keep going. So you seem to have an issue with the fact that I have mirage that's right there. Of what? How did that reflection happen? So you don't know, but you know it's a reflection. No, I don't see the bottom of the Lego, so it's not being reflected. That's not how reflections work. No, it's still not being obstructed. Dude, what's it being obstructed by? No, not really. No, it's uneven. I'll tell you right now, that banister is warped. I will fully admit that. Nothing. There's because the light is being refracted. That's it. How could it be physically? How is air physically obstructing a solid object at this point? Because the air is refracting the light. at that particular angle. That doesn't mean that the
Oh,
air
I heard
is
it. So whenever you want to ask why we can't see the bottom of a ship or a building or a city skyline, there's your answer right there. No need to even ask that question anymore. Sunsets.
There's a small. Hold on. There's a small. You have a small problem though. With your attempt to co-opt it. Okay. Where's the where's the refraction happening? It's not an experiment, it's just an observation.
Please tell me you just recorded that.
Go ahead. But you still have a problem. I don't know how many times I can explain this. It's really simple. The temperature inversion between the wood and the air was a little more extreme than what you would normally find in conditions such as, I don't know, the water, right? Water doesn't get so hot that you can't touch it, at least on the ocean. You would agree with this?
Let's try this again. What is...
No.
What's
Hold
obscure
on.
with the bottom of those bricks in your experiment?
You're gonna follow this line of reasoning whether you like it or not.
All right, let's do it.
So if you have this refractive zone that is between you and the observer, or sorry, the observer and the object, right? In this case, something that's supposed to be out in the distance, right? Now, if you're going to claim that the refractive layer is happening closer to the object, then you have a really big problem because perspective is still a thing, and that effect would diminish the further it gets away from you.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're going to sit there and claim that the refraction is somewhere in between you and the observer, or sorry, I keep saying you and the observer, you and the object, you're going to have to tell me where that's at and at what magnitude.
Well, I'm only going by your experiment here. That you have an obstruction that's not physical.
It's not obstruction, so stop saying that.
Where is the bottom of the Lego?
I don't have an object obstructing another object in this case.
All right, where is the bottom of the Lego?
Sitting on the banister.
Why can't we see it?
Because the light at that particular level is being refracted.
The light at that level is being refracted.
Mm-hmm. And the effect that's occurring is closer than I am to the object that it is to me.
Mm-hmm. That light that's being refracted, that's obstructing the bottom of that Lego, is not physical.
What are you talking about?
Physicality. Could I touch that obstruction?
Yeah, you actually could.
How?
Because it's there.
What would I touch?
And it's not. Oh, sorry. I keyed in on what you said. You said obstruction. No, the point at which the light's being refracted. Yes, you can actually touch the point at which it's happening. You can actually touch that thermal layer if you wanted to.
What would you be touching?
What would you touch?
Mm-hmm.
I just said the thermal layer. That
thermal layer, is it just...
like when you stick your hand inside the oven and you're touching the air?
I hope you listened. So that thermal layer, is it just there where it's obstructing the bottom of the Lego?
Not obstructing. Try again.
Why can't we see the bottom? It's been obstructed, the bottom.
No, the light's being refracted. Still not being obstructed.
The bottom's being refracted.
Yes, it's being refracted.
That's why we can't see it.
It's a very... What do you see? Yes. If it's being refracted, yeah, you're gonna catch the things that are being refracted. You don't get to see the things.
Is it refracted into itself?
Not. What are you talking about?
Well, where's it refracting? Why can't we see it? Bottom. There's nothing
Because
physical
the thermal layer.
There's nothing physical in front of the bottom of that object. Yeah.
Hold up. Wait. Say that again.
There's nothing physical obstructing the bottom of that Lego, right?
No.
No. So why can't we see it?
Because the air is transparent.
Right. So why can't we see the
obstruct
bottom then of that Lego if there's nothing physical?
I didn't say it was nothing physical. I said the air is physical and it's not obstructing.
So the air not obstructing. So why can't we see?
Because the light is being refracted.
Causing the obstruction.
Now, what you seem to be missing, and this is the part that I keep trying to illustrate, is that thermal layer
Thermal layer,
has
that's the
a
one
door.
I remember.
Yes.
Thermal layer.
Yes. There's the object is giving off thermal radiation.
Thermal layer,
That
yeah?
thermal radiation.
A little bit like Travis's ether band.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Not even close.
I don't know, Chemo. That's that ether.
Bearded Devil, do you know what you're doing right now? Are you aware?
He doesn't even know what he's doing. Yo, that's that ether.
I think
man
Travis
shit,
will
Chemo.
like that. Thermal. What did he say? Thermal band. Thermal.
Bearded Devil,
band, yeah.
are you aware of what you're doing right now?
Stop, Jake.
Stop.
Jake, shush.
So if it's refracting, we won't see the bottom.
So carry on,
He's
Bearded
trying to
Dragon.
engage. He's trying to engage
Jake,
with
come
one of the
on
greatest
now,
minds
Jake.
of flat Earth.
Come on, he wants to know about flat Earth.
He's ill prepared, Chemo, to engage with one of the greatest minds.
Jake. He's doing a good job. Come on, let him do his job. Trying to work his way up to the top
Okay,
table.
Chemo.
Yeah,
Enjoy it. Don't ask about bad weather. Enjoy it.
So if
carry
it's
on, Bearded
refracting,
Dragon. Go on.
you won't see the bottom
We're listening.
unless you go up.
He's making grand errors here, isn't he, Jake? Unbelievable.
No,
That's why I
this
kept
is-
saying,
he's
Jeremy, you
speaking
listening to that? You listening
He's
to that?
he's speaking the truth,
Hold on.
Chemo. This is what.
Wait.
This is what's up.
Hold on, Jake. Where
I
do you
love
think
these
that I've
answers that he's
erred?
giving.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Chemo. Hold on. Jake, where do you think I've made errors here?
Oh my god, now he's up. Jake, you
Everywhere along the way, bro.
I have not made any errors, Bearded.
Go
Everything
ahead.
you said.
If it's
Everything you said was
refracting, you won't see the bottom, right?
Anyway, Bearded Dragon, you've done wonderful.
Okay, carry on.
Well, I think we're pretty much there. He's described the obstruction in many different ways, but Sunday, I mean, you know,
There's
physical,
no
thermal layer,
obstruction.
thermal band. We've got what else did he say? What did he say first, Joe? Do you remember what you said? Refracted light.
Chemo. There's
Refraction's
no
causing the
obstruction.
obstruction. It's due to the thermal band.
Thermal-
I mean,
all
what
this
else do you
stuff.
really need?
Didn't say band either. But y'all can keep going. That's fine.
Come on, talk about flat Earth. What else do you need to know? You've given us the reason now for obstruction anywhere in the world. What's next?
Chemo. You can do better than that.
What's
I think
next?
we can. I think we can. That is one of the top answers that we've heard so far.
I honestly don't think Chemo
Go
can do
ahead.
better than
I
this.
don't think
Honestly,
I
he's peeking
You
out right
solved
now.
it.
So
Solved
hold on.
it.
So chemo. Wait, hold on. So you're saying that a 2 millimeter band is what's blocking the everything?
You're saying that, dude. I asked you three
No,
or
I
four
didn't.
times to be clear. Why can't we see it? What's the answer? Is it physical? It's not physical. Are you a moron, Chemo? What are you talking about? Of course it's not physical. Thank you. Of course it's
Chemo.
not physical. We know it's not
I
physical.
said that in this case, there's no physical obstruction. This is
Excellent.
just refraction.
Say it again. There is no physical obstruction. Yes?
The obstruction is due to refraction. We got it, bro. We heard you.
I like how you
You know,
said that.
say it
There is
again.
no physical.
Make him say it again, Chemo. Make him say it again.
Go ahead.
Yep, that 2 millimeter band is sucking up the entire height of Mount Everest.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to. That's why I asked you, how thick is your lens?
It's very thick. It's like thick and beefy.
So, how high does that refraction need to be in order to obstruct entire mountains?
I think we've gathered
Please.
enough information for now, I think.
Yeah, we have.
This is insane. I just need to
Go
soak
ahead.
in
Code
your
out
answers.
the universe.
I need to soak in your answers a little bit. It's just too much.
That was excellent.
That was a lot of information there, Bearded. And an experiment to go with it as well. Even better.
I feel more well informed now. I don't know about everyone else.
So why is it y'all won't address what I'm asking?
Because they're dicks.
What are you asking?
They're obstructionist assholes trying to just
Lemon.
Jump around subjects in order to try and avoid getting to the truth.
Lemon has seen my some of my observations with refraction. Isn't that right, Lemon?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
they were quite well done.
Yeah. Lemon, how high would a refractive layer need to be in order to hide the bottom half of a mountain?
Oh shoot. I don't
2
know.
millimeters.
I mean, I go with diffraction in the eye being the main culprit, not refraction, but I don't know.
No, we're just strictly going off refraction.
I don't know for refraction.
Oh, okay. How high?
I mean, we all have our bearded.
How
we
high
all
does
have
Travis'
our reasons? You say refraction. Lemon says diffraction. You know.
Well,
thermal
diffraction
band.
and refraction are two different things.
Thermal layer, Jeremy.
Refraction is
thermal
moving
layer.
through a medium.
Thermal layer. That's what he said.
Refraction is moving through a medium like a pool, like air or whatever, and its path appearing to change from that. Diffraction is when light splashes through an opening and spreads out or goes around an obstacle. So it goes with the eye with diffraction, making a horizon and obstructing objects because you're too close to the limiting flat surface, be it the wall, the ceiling, or the floor.
So
Lemon, we're
how
talking
high
about
does
flat
the
Earth
sea-
today, just flat Earth. They want to know about the flat Earth itself and how we know the Earth itself is flat.
The key is the level of the eyes. The sight line is where everything converges toward and smushes toward. So you're going to get the most smushing at this level of sight parallel to the limiting surface, be it the wall, the floor, or the ceiling.
Yeah, there's some fancy word for it with compression, isn't it? Soundly showed it in his hotel videos. As it gets closer to the horizon, the hotel floors start to smush up a little bit. They're not as long as the other top floors.
Smush, smush.
Bearded Dragon,
Snooky wants smush smush.
Come back, Bearded Dragon. I know you're very curious about the flat Earth. Ask us more stuff about the flat Earth.
So curious.
Go on.
Well, I was. So just to go off of like what Lemon was saying, and Lemon agrees that perspective plays an important role in the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. I would assume that you guys also think that the horizon is, perspective has a very, very important role in horizon, right?
Yeah, get to it, bro.
That was a question, Chemo.
Oh, looks like he left. Perspective says that stuff above the sight line will ramp down and stuff below the sight line will ramp up at the level of the eyes or around the level of the eyes. So this will lead to a sandwich zone where there will be a lot of smushing and compression around that zone.
So if the Earth is flat, level, plane, right?
It is.
All horizontal lines would lead to the same vanishing point. Is that correct?
They would lead to a plane of multiple vanishing points within.
How do you get multiple vanishing points? I'm not talking laterally. I'm not talking laterally like 2-point and whatnot. I'm just referring to 1-point linear perspective, considering that's mostly what we see in as far as that's concerned.
That is idealized, but keep in mind we're dealing also with a surface that's below our eyes, technically, so it won't be perfectly at the level of the eyes, but it'll be around there. I would say that these vanishing points, as long as they're going parallel to the limiting surface, would lead to a similar vanishing zone if they don't disappear before reaching said vanishing zone.
There's not a vanishing zone. There's a vanishing point.
It would be up around 0.02 degrees of angular resolution for an average human observer, but it would vary depending on the optic, how much light it can crowd on the optical sensor and still render out a 2D image instead of a flat horizon line.
Lemon, you can still see beyond that point. This is not in contention. You can still see faraway structures that are of a sufficient height.
This would imply that they're at a higher angle, and that you can still render a 2D image on them because they're at a higher angle relative to the level of the eyes.
Nope, it implies that the vanishing point is further than those objects.
That doesn't follow.
Yes, it does.
It would be a vanishing plane or a vanishing zone around 0.02 degrees of angular resolution.